Okay, good day everyone. Today we're going to be looking at the 2017 May-June past paper, paper 1. All right, so let's just jump straight into it. So number 1 asks us what is -3 squared plus -2 squared. Now notice where the negative signs are. They are inside the parentheses, so you have to square that as well. So what we have is 9 plus 4, which is 13. That's C. Number 6, if 30% of a number is 45, what is 4/5 of the number? Well, we have 3/10 of a number is equal to 45. So that way we could figure out what the number is. The actual number is 45 multiplied by 10/3. 3 into 3, 1. 3 into 45 is 15. So the actual number is 150. Now we want 4/5 of that number. So we just pre-multiply or multiply both sides by 4/5, and we get our result of 120. So that's B. What number, when added to 1/3, gives 2? That is clear, that is 2/3. What is the value of the digit 2 in the number 48.621? That is 2/100. Anne and Betty share a sum of money in the ratio 2:3. If Anne receives $60 less than Betty, what is the total amount of money? Well, notice that they have 5 shares. 3 plus 2 is 5. So we have 3/5 of your number minus 2/5 of your number is equal to 60. Right, $60 less. So that means 1/5 of your money is equal to 60. So the total sum of money would be 60 by 5, which is equal to 300. The highest common factor of 12, 15, and 60. Now the highest common factor means the number that could divide all of them, which happens to be 3. Now if 235 multiplied by 48.7 is equal to 11,444.5, then notice all they did was divide by 10 here, and then divide by 100 here. So all in all, they divide by 1,000. So you need to divide this thing by 1,000. So you'll have this one here. The next term in the sequence, notice you add 5, then you add 7, then 9, then 11. The next one should be 13. So you have 46. Let's just double check that. 33 plus 13, 6, 46. The test was marked out of 80. A boy scored 60% of the marks on the test. How many marks did he score? All right, so you have 60/100 multiplied by 80. It cancel down. 6 8s are 48. By the distributive law, 49 multiplied by 17 plus 49 multiplied by 3, you could factor out the 49 and get 17 plus 3, which is equal to 49 multiplied by 20. If P is 2357, Q is 236, and S is 245, then P intersect Q intersect S. The only thing in common to all 3 of them is the number 2. So that's A. And we are told that item 14 refers to the following Venn diagram. The shaded portion. So if P is the factors of 6 and Q is the factors of 4, the factors of 6 are 1, 2, 3, and 6. Factors of 4 is 1, 2, and 4. So that means the intersection has to be 1 and 2. Item 12 refers to the following diagram. We have the shaded region as P complement, that is everything outside of P. 15, a dress costs $180, is being sold at a discount of 10%. Notice they ask for the amount of the discount. All right, so that is 10% of 180, which is $18. Number 13, in a class of 32 students, 17 study music and 20 study art. What is the least number of students who study both music and art? The least number of students that study both of them. Notice that if you add up the number of students who study music and who study art, you get 37. So the least they have to be is 5 to account for that, that difference. Number 16, the value of a plot of land is $18,000. Land tax is charged at a rate of 70 cents per $100. What is the total amount of tax paid for the land? Well, you have $180 and 18,000. So that means you have to multiply 180 by 70 cents. Now, which is the same as multiplying 18 by 7, which will give you 7 eighths 56, and 7 ones are 5, so that's 126. At the end of any year, the car worth is 5% less than what it is worth at the beginning of the year. If the car is worth $9,500 in December 2016, the value in the January was $10,000, because 5% of the 10,000 is 500, and if you take away the 500, you'll get the $9,500. All right, so number 18 tells us a man bought a mobile phone for $800 and sold it for $1,000. What was his profit as a percentage of the cost price? Well, the profit was $200. As a percentage of your cost price, you divide by the cost price and multiply by 100%. Right, so you could probably cancel these two zeros. 4 into 8 is 2, 4 into 200 is 50, right? So you get 25%, right? Which was clear because 200 is 25% of 800. How much does a customer pay for an article marked at $50 if sales tax is 6%? Okay, so we have 6% of our 50, right? So that is 2 here. So that is an extra $3 you have to pay. Now that will be 50 plus 3, which happens to be 53, right? A man's annual salary is $45,000. His tax-free allowances is $13,000. He pays tax of 35% on his taxable income. The tax payable is. So notice that if his allowance, his tax-free allowance is 13, that means his taxable allowance is 32,000. And now you need to find 35% of that. Right, which happens to be 320 by 35. Calculating this, 3 zeros are 0, 3 twos are 6, 3 threes are 9, 5 zeros are 0, 5 twos are 10, 5 threes are 15, and 1 is 16, which works down to be 11,200, which is B. Remember that you cannot use calculators on these types of exams. 7 times the product of two numbers, A and B, may be written as. So we are given a product of two numbers, so that is A, B. Now it's 7 times that product, so that happens to be A. $20. The simple interest on a loan of $6,000 for 3 years was $900. What was the rate of interest per annum? Recall that simple interest is equal to principal by rate by time. So the rate is equal to the interest over the principal by time. Okay, so we have the interest was 900. The principal amount was 6,000. and the time was 3 years. So we could simplify a little bit. 3 into 3, 1, 3 into 9 is 2, 2 into 2, 1, 2 into 60 is 30. All right. Sorry, 3 into 9 is 3, and 3 into 60 is 20. So, right, so we have 1 over 20 is our interest. But remember that we want it as a percent, so we need to multiply that by 100 to get our rate as a percent. That happens to be 5%. If x is an integer that satisfies the inequality, 4 is less than 2x, which is less than or equal to x, we just divide by 2 to get x is greater than 2, but less than or equal to 3, which is A. A television set cost $350 cash. When bought on hire purchase, a deposit of $35 is required, followed by 12 monthly payments of $30 each. How much is saved by paying cash? So 12 monthly payments by 35, that is 35 multiplied by 12, which is 350, plus 70, which is $420. Now you also have to add the $30 on, so this happens to be $450. Sorry, this was an error. So we are told that is 12 monthly payments of $30. So this is 30 multiplied by 12, which is 300 plus 60. So that is 360, and you also have to add on the extra $35 you have to pay. So that brings us to a grand total of $395. Now, if you pay cash, you have to pay $350. So that means you are saving $45 if you pay cash, because it is $45 less than if you buy it on hire purchase. Now 25, the coefficient of x in the expansion, x plus 3 times x minus 1. If you was to expand this out by simple foiling, you get x by x is x squared. You have x by minus 1 is minus x, plus 3x minus 3. So the coefficient of x is the number in front of our x, which happens to be positive 2, which is C. We have 3x squared by 2x cubed. We multiply the numbers as usual and add the exponents of the x. So we have 3 by 2 is 6, and 2 plus 3 is 5, so it's 6x to the 5th power. Number 27, when m is equal to 3, we have p equal m cubed over 2 minus m. When m is negative 2, the value of p, so we have negative 2 all cubed over 2 minus 2. So we get negative 8 over 4, which is negative 2, which is A. When 8 is subtracted from a certain number, the result is multiplied by 3, and the answer is 21. What was the original number? So we have x is our original number, 8 is subtracted from it, and then multiply that by 3. The answer is 21. All we need to do is reverse the processes. So first we divide by 3 on both sides. So we have x minus 8 is equal to 7. And then we can just add 8 to get what x was. So 7 plus 8 is 15. So that is D. How many kilograms are there in 1 ton? Keynote is the ton, and that is 1,000 kilograms in 1 ton. If A star B is A over B minus 1, then 7 star 8, 28 is 7 over 28 minus 1. So 7 over 28 is 1 over 4 minus 1. Now a quarter minus 1 happens to be negative 3/4. The volume in cm cube of a cube of edge 3 cm, it is 3 by 3 by 3, which is 27, or 3 cubed. If 5 into 2x minus 1 is equal to 35, then x is equal, so we have to start with 5 into 2x minus 1 equal 35. First thing we could do is either distribute or divide both sides by 5, so that this will cancel. I'll leave you with 2x minus 1 is equal to 7. Add 1 to both sides, you get 2x is equal to 8. Finally divide by 2, give you x is exactly equal to 4. A car travels 80 kilometers in 2.5 hours. What is its average speed? So remember, speed is equal to distance over time. So this is equal to 80 divided by 2.5. This is equal to the same as 800 divided by 25. Let's multiply top and bottom by 10. And we could say 25 into 25, 1. 25 into 800 is, well, 25 into 100 is 4. 4 by 8 is equal to 32. So the speed is equal to 32 kilometers per hour. So that's this one. John has X marbles and Mark has twice as many marbles as John. Max gives John 5 of his marbles. How many marbles does John have? Well, he had X, now he has 5 more, so it's 5 plus X. So that's A. Item 35 refers to the following figure, which shows a triangle resting on a square. Notice that this is a height, so this is a right angle here. Now they say that one of the sides of the square is 5 cm and the height of the triangle is 4 cm. The total area of the figure in cm squared, the area of the square is 5 by 5, which is 25, and the area of the triangle is equal to a half base, which is 5, by height, which is 4. You can cancel down and get this on top here is 10. So this is 25 plus 10, which is 35 cm squared. The distance around a lake is 8 kilometers. On the map, the distance around the lake is represented by a length of 2 centimeters. So the scale on the map, now if we were to write over this in centimeters, remember that there's 1,000 meters in a kilometer. So that means 100,000 meters in 100,000 centimeters in 1 kilometer. So you have 2 to 800,000 centimeters, and then you could finally divide by 2, so you get a 1 in 400,000. So that's this one. The perimeter of a square is 56. What is its area? So the perimeter of a square is a quarter, the side of a square is a quarter of its perimeter. Now, so the side is 56 divided by 4, which is 14. And they want to know what is the area. So you have 14 by 14, because it's side by side for area. And sorry about that. Look like we're jumping ahead. So 14 by 14, that is 140 plus 69, 56. So that is 196. So that's D. Notice that I'm showing all my work. So the area of a rectangle is 5.3 sorry, 53.6 centimeters squared. If the length is multiplied by 4, so we have length by width is equal to 53.6. So they say that the length is multiplied by 4. So you have 4L, and the width is halved. And they want to know what will the new area be. So notice that we can cancel down a few things. So we'll get 2L multiplied by W. And recall that multiplication is associative. So we could put the brackets here. And we know what this L times W is. It's exactly this 53.6 up here. So that's, we only need to multiply the 53.6 by 2. So 53.6 multiplied by 2 is 107.2. Item 14 refers to the following diagram, not drawn to scale, of a cylinder of radius 3 and height 8. The volume of the cylinder, it's pi r squared times height. So that is pi by 3 squared by 8. So you have pi by, well, 9 pi multiplied by 8, which is equal to 72 pi cm cubed. A man leaves home at 2215 hours and reaches his destination at 400 hours on the following day in the same time zone. How many hours did this the journey take? Well, we could start our counting at 2300 hours and just add in the 3/4 hours after to get to that value. So we have 2300, 400 hours is the same as 1600 hours, right? Or 2800 hours, if you will, because it's 4 hours after the 12. So you'll get 5 hours and 3/4. So that's B. Or you could do the calculation on your fingers. So 2300 hours is 11 o'clock, 11 p.m. 400 hours is in the morning, 4 a.m. So you could go 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 5, and the 3/4 hours to get there. Item 41 to 42 refer to the following histogram, which shows the number of children age 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 who took part in a survey. Let's double check. Okay, good. What was the modal age? Now we look at the age that occurred the most. That happens to be age 7, because this tells us the number of children that participated, and this tells us our their ages. Okay, let's see this one. If the mean of 4 numbers, 4, 8, 2x, and 12, sorry, 4, 8, 2x, 12, and 12 is 10, then x is, so that means we have to add up all, divide by, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers, and that has to be 10. So that means, well, if we add up these two, that is 12, 12 and 12 is 24. So we have 24 plus 2x, that has to equal to 40 by cross multiplication. That would imply that 2x is equal to 40 minus 24, which is 16. And that gives us x is equal to 8. Now notice that we had item 41 and 42. So we have to refer to the histogram again. How many children took part in the survey? Let's count it. So we have 3 plus 4 plus 5. We forgot to add this 2 here and 1. So we have 3 plus 4 is 7, plus 2 is 9, plus 5 is 14, and 1 is 15. So 15 children took part. The following table shows the frequency of scores obtained in a test. The range of scores is, notice that, well, recall that the range is the biggest value minus the smallest value which is exactly 8. Number 45. Of 120 students writing an exam, 100 are expected to pass. The estimated probability that a randomly selected student will fail the exam. So if we have 100 expected to pass, the expectation of failure is 20. So that's 20 over 120. Get simplified as down to be 1/6, which is A. 46, which of the following best illustrates a function? Remember, we need a function to be 1-to-1, so that is D. All right, so we are closing in on the end. Item 47 refers to the following graph of a straight line. The straight line cuts the y-axis at the x point is always 0. Anytime you're talking about the y-intercept. So that is 0, -2, which is D. Let me just make sure I did all the questions on this page. Yes, I did. So item 50 refers to the following graph of a function. The values of x for which y equal 4x minus x squared intersects y equals 0 are. Y equals 0 refers to the x-axis because at this point, the y coordinate is 0. So that happens to be 4 and 0, which is this one, A. If h of x is equal to 3x minus 2 over 5, then h of -6 is equal to, so h of -6, it's 3 times -6 minus 2 over 5. 3 times -6 is -18, minus 2 over 5, that's -20 over 5, which is -4. That's A. Item 51 refers to the following arrow diagram, which shows a function x mapping to, the function which maps x to y. 2 goes to 5, 5 goes to 8, 8 goes to 11, 11 goes to 14. Notice we are adding 3 to x. So f of x is equal to x plus 3. 49, the inequality above, notice that the 2 and the 3 is not, sorry, -2 and the 3 is not shaded. So that means that x is between those values, but it cannot be equal. So that is D. It is between -2 and 3, but cannot be equal. If the exterior angle of a regular polygon is 60 degrees, then the polygon is a hexagon. Recall the exterior angle theorem. Item 53, the following diagram of a pair of intersecting lines, the measure of ABE. ABE is this angle here. Notice that makes a straight line. So that is 122. Because the sum of angles is supposed to be 180. Item 55 refers to the following diagram of the straight line y equal x. What is the image of the line y equal x when it is rotated anti-clockwise? That is this way. 90 degrees. That will give you exactly y equal -x. Item 54 refers to the following diagram of the isosceles triangle. Notice since those two lines are equal, that means the angle have to be equal. So that this is 30 degrees. That would mean that this angle up here is equal to 120 degrees. Let's see. 56 refers to the following diagram. They have similar triangles. That means the sides, the ratio of the sides must be equal. So since AC was 7, MO will have to be 3.5, because 6 over 7 need to be equal to 3 over x, cross multiply. That means that x is equal to 21 over 6, which is 3.5. Item 57 refers to the following right angle triangle ABC. In the triangle not drawn to scale, angle BAC is 30 degrees and AB is 40. The length of BC, now this is the opposite, so we should be thinking sine because we have the hypotenuse. So we have the opposite should be equal to 40 sine 30. Now we know sine of 30 is a half, but they don't need us to calculate it. So that is just A. Item 60 refers to the following diagram of a building. A surveyor sets up his instrument 12 meters from the foot of the building and records the angle of elevation at the top of the building. The estimate of the height of the building is obtained by calculating. Well, you have to add the 1.6 plus, you know that this 90 is 12. So you need to find the opposite, but you have the adjacent. So you have to start thinking tan, because tan is opposite over adjacent. So you have 1.6 plus 12 tan 40. So that happens to be D. Item 58 refers to the following right angle triangle ABC. In the triangle ABC not drawn to scale, AB is 17, AC is 15, and BC is x. The value of x in centimeters is, remember that we need x squared plus 15 squared need to be equal to 17 squared. Now, if you already know that this is a Pythagorean triple, you wouldn't need to calculate what x is, but supposing that we don't know, we have to work it out. So 17 squared, right? That is 289. 15 squared is 225. And well, we leave x squared as x squared. So x squared is equal to 289 minus 225. So x squared is equal to 64. And square rooting, since we take the positive square root, since we want a length, so that means x has to be equal to 8. And finally, in a triangle PQR, the angle P degrees, P equal P degrees, the angle Q equal 2x. What am I talking about? In a triangle PQR, angle P equal x degrees and angle Q equal 2x. What is the size of angle R? So far we have x plus 2x plus some angle R should give us 180 degrees. So R should give us, or R should be 180 degrees minus 3x degrees, which is D. And that takes us to the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.